These people in the comments are always like, it's a family environment. It's like they jumped out of the land ride on the vegetable fruit boat ride, the land, and they leaped out of the boat to try to get the fruit. So one of the biggest criticisms I get is like people will come back and they'll be like, oh, well, you want to dress this way at Disney or this or that. It's a family environment. Let's get right into that. Is Disney really that much of a family environment? You got Epcot, where it's like been dubbed the name Drinks Around the World. I don't know if it was started by them or not, but people go there to and drink around the world. Okay, and everyone does that, and a huge amount of Disney guests do that. And now they've even opened up, I think, at the Magic Kingdom, different types of alcohol that you couldn't get before. You'll see a lot of people who have had one too many, including your Disney vloggers, a lot of them who unfortunately will show you that they've obviously had drinks and then gotten into a car, and then in their vlogs when someone criticizes them, they'll be like, don't you say anything to me, I know how to handle my liquor, or something like that. It's like, no, you don't. You shouldn't be doing that ever. You should always have a designated driver, take Uber, whatever. Not responsible at all to be doing that in general, or for vlogs that have to do with Disney. People are drinking, definitely not family oriented with that. At Riverside, Port Orleans Riverside Resort, which has been one of my favorite resorts to stay at. That's why I have all these stories, because I've stayed there so many times. I've had some bizarre experiences there. I was not dressed up. I was with my family. I walked out of the room with my family. We were walking towards the food court, and I had two young guys who looked like fraternity age, and they walked by me and they full on said some very derogatory words towards me under their breath, which was not very friendly and not very Disney-like, and I just very quickly kept going, because I mean, if you're saying derogatory words like that and the girl is with her family, maybe they've had one too many. So kept on going with that one. And then at Port Orleans Riverside Resort also, I pretty much stopped going to their pool, because a lot of the men that are there on vacation with their families, wives, girlfriends, families, and all that, they like to sit at the pool there and kind of look a little bit too much. Like they're looking you up and down, being like, I like that bikini. So yeah, some of the men that are at that resort are definitely not very, I'm taking my lovely family to Disney World and buying a balloon. No, yeah, I think they hang out at the 7-Eleven too much. Okay, it's in their local town. So yeah, not so family oriented, some of the people that are going to Disney. Also, at Port Orleans Riverside Resort, I had a very good room in terms of location proximity. It was actually the first building next to the food court. So literally it was almost attached to the food court. It was considered like a preferred building, but the room shape, like where it was located, was where it actually had a view of the parking lot, unfortunately. And you can actually see the cast member area where the cast members go in. And every single time I came out of my room, it smelled of a aroma. There was an aroma in the air, and that was a little annoying. Definitely not coming from the guests. It wasn't coming from the rooms. It was in the air. And the other thing is, like, I sympathize with the Disney employees. I think Disney's probably working them way too hard. There's been tons of stories about the minimum wage, price of living has become way too high, and Disney pays them peanuts. So, you're going to the parking lot and you'll see cast members full on passed out in their cars, either arriving to work or on their break, full on passed out because they're so exhausted. It's like, in itself, that's not very magical. Yeah. So the other thing I've had happen is that at Port Orleans Riverside, as well as Universal Studios, I tend to bring my own food, especially for breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person, so I'll bring my own breakfast to cut down, as well as I'm not a big breakfast person, and I don't like a lot of the ingredients that Disney has to offer. I'll have people walk by and they're holding all of their food that they bought at breakfast, and quite frankly, is very expensive, and they'll snicker and under their breath they'll say things like, oh, she brought her own food. It's like, yeah, I did, and that's none of your business. Something I eat as a snack is seaweed, and I know it stands out, but again, you don't have to make comments about what I'm eating. Also, so these people are sitting down for breakfast, right? And they may have a group of 5, and each meal at Disney is like $14+ even for breakfast. And they're sitting down with this tray, and they're sitting down and they're realizing in their head how much they've spent. And then they're seeing what I brought. I brought a bagel, and I'm having half a bagel and splitting it, and it's like, sorry, not sorry, but I'll keep eating my seaweed. These people in the comments are always like, it's a family environment. It's like, they jumped out of the land ride on the vegetable fruit boat ride, the land, and they leaped out of the boat to try to get the fruit. Okay, that was some I don't know if they were from Dade County, but that was some Dade County stuff right there. And the people are like, it's a family environment. It's like, have you seen that video? Isn't that all over the internet of those weirdos that were drunk and jumped out of the boat and they were trying to pluck the fruit from the land ride? It's a family environment, people. It's family. They were leaping from the boat in order to get their family fresh fruit. Okay, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very informative video. And if you have not subscribed, you should subscribe. And I will see you again in my next video. And bye.
Met Miss Lindy. She's a gal with the bright red hair. Now she stands high from all the rest. You know her anywhere. Well, she's mine. Yeah, she's mine. Well, I love that little girl with the bright red hair.